What's going on, Hunter?
Hey Rick.
I'm bringing you on, dude. You got my nephew's name. I don't see a lot of Hunters, so I figured I'd
Oh,
kind of bring you
really?
on. Actually, I know multiple Hunters, but I have a family member named Hunter, and I haven't talked to you before, so I figured I'd pull you on. And what's going on, man? What can I help you out with?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I talked to Zach on the Sunday live.
Uh huh.
He went there when I spoke to him. It was my first time, getting on the live and asking questions. But I told him my situation about how I can't. I'm 18, still in high school. I can't drive, and I haven't. And basically, he told me to go to my because I was all over the place. I was trying to do FISBO. I was trying to cold
Hmm.
call FISBO, and just wasn't working out. So he told me to just focus on my local market, which is like Lafayette, Louisiana. And he told
Okay,
me,
it's a good market.
yeah, he told me to call the courthouse and try to get the probates, but the lady wouldn't. She wouldn't. She told me I had to pay the like $160 to get access to their stuff, or I would have to come to the courthouse myself, like use their computer to get access that.
Yeah,
And
they're
then
a
he
pain
told
in
me,
the butt with that.
yeah, and then he told me to
So
get
how long you been wholesaling for?
I haven't done the deal yet. I'm still learning and trying to get into it.
I got it.
I've been watching
So
it for about 2 months now.
so dude, you're at a great age, and so are you still in high school or are you out?
I'm still in high school.
Got it. So, dude, I wish. So let me ask you, just out of curiosity, and I think this helps out everybody watching it. What attracted you to wholesaling? Like, what was the catalyst to
Oh,
go?
okay. Well, I started when I really started learning about like financial freedom and stuff like that. It was more about all the drop shipping and stuff like that. But a lot of
Mhm.
that's really saturated and doesn't really work for me.
Yeah.
And so I learned more and more, and I got into real estate. And the first person I came across in real estate was Grant Cardone. You know, the big dude that sells apartments and everything.
Grant
Million dollar-
Cardone's good if you got money. He's actually
Yeah.
not bad. But if you guys know Grant Cardone, the man never stops selling, which I appreciate and am annoyed at the same time. But I love his attitude about business and stuff. But like honestly, there's a point where you have enough money, like you can enjoy life. Like if I ever had got to that level, not that I would stop real estate, but like I wouldn't be on the internet like 24/7. But like whatever, he's doing it for his legacy and his kids. So you tried drop shipping, by the way. Zach tried it when he was young too, before it was even like hot, and he had a good run. And then it was like he goes, "This is a nightmare." And I'm like, and that's how he kind of like started leaning into real estate. And the other one is, so you guys know, especially you young guys, everyone. So the drop ship, that's part of the whole Amazon thing. It's ridiculous. Now the biggest thing is people are trying to teach you how to recruit for what the you guys, have you ever heard of ERC?
Mm-mm.
So it's basically a government program back from the C word, which I'm not going to say. And there's $270 billion left. And if you refer someone that has employees and they qualify for it, you get a huge spiff. But here's the problem is it's yet determined if it's like illegal. They get a 30%. So if you fund someone $1 million, you get 300 grand. I know someone that does this. They try to recruit me to do it. I go, it's not morally right. I don't want to like solicit people to give away my taxpayer money. And honestly, I don't see where you have the right to do this. So I ran into an attorney. I'm like, I know how scams work. They arrest everybody 3 to 4 years afterwards. It has nothing to do with real estate. I don't want to do it. I actually qualified for a company for a big dollar amount. And I turned it down because I just don't want to do it. So I'm just trying to give you every scam so any other scams that sound attractive, you're like, so I'm not going to say the name, but it starts with a capital F, and it's in the currency trading industry. You know what I'm talking about? Starts with an F, ends with an X.
Mm-hmm.
So like everybody, just to let you know, that's a reverse MLM. They get money every person they sign up. That's why they push it. And by the way, you have no competitive advantage. You have no idea when currencies are going to go up and down. And they only post the wins. You never see the losses because eventually you are going to lose, just like people do in the stock market. So you found wholesaling. I'm here to tell you, dude, it's 100% real. I did it, started over 20 years ago. Zach started over 5 years ago. He's on year 6, and it's real. Here's the truth. It's hard. Like you got to work. It's not for free. Yeah. And the first 3 months feels really painful other than the excitement. But if you can sit and get through it. So even if it takes you an extra year or two, Hunter, I'm telling you, stick it out. The payoff is amazing. And what it will teach you is, number one, it will teach you how to really make money in the world, because I promise you, no schooling in high school or college is ever going to teach you how to do it, because all they teach you is how to be a professional. And number two, then you're going to have to learn how to keep your money, because all your friends and family are going to teach you how to spend it, because we're really good at that. You don't save money in this world. You invest money. People who save money are not, I'm just sorry, like don't get pissed off. You can't save your way to be wealthy and financially free. It's impossible. You can't. It's impossible. I tried it. So now you're in wholesaling. and you're 18 and you're getting resistance getting these lists, right?
Yeah.
So here's what you need to do is you need to make a list of all the lists you want to get. You're never going to get 100% of them. You're just not. And you have to learn the tact of overcoming resistance with persistence. And this is where you have to bring in some of your charm, your rapport, and your conversational skills. Because if you can master that, the amount of money you can earn in this lifetime is unlimited. Dude, I didn't start till I was 33 and I had to go on like a 10-year journey. You're so far ahead of the curve. It's ridiculous. So Zach started when he was 16. He had the tools with her. But here's the thing is, you can give somebody all the tools, all the wealth in the world. If they don't take the action, they are doomed. And the one thing I made Zach, I never gave my son a car ever. I didn't pay for his college ever. I just didn't give him stuff. You know why? Because I watched other people give their kids everything and they're like a train wreck now because people aren't hungry. So do you have the support of your family is my other question.
Yeah, I have the support, but it's off and on. Like they're still at the point where they're trying to get me to get it like a regular job and start making money. I don't want to do that. That's what it is, right?
Listen, if you're going to do wholesaling, all I'm just telling you is go all in. Hopefully you still live at home with your parents. Mm-hmm. Hold on to that for a little while. I don't want you living at home with your parents when you're 30 and 35. So if you suck up the first 2 years, so Zach at 20 was completely on his own, like 100%. Like I never paid a nickel of his bills. And that was my goal with my children. By the time they come grown adults, they have choices they can make. The reality is most kids is when their parents put them through college and everything else, and they get this big bill or their parents pay this ginormous bill, then they go like this, what do we do now? You know what most parents go? You're on your own, man, figure it out. And I will tell you, most people need the help from 16 to 25. It's the most critical learning phase of your life because if you can get a head start there, that's where it's going to happen. So it's going to be frustrating. So you just got to learn to get through the list and get the ones you can get. And you have to take a massive amount of action. And I always tell the young people, the one thing you have complete control over is your attitude. And if you just kill people with kindness and like enthusiastic, I give young people shots all the freaking time. But if they have a crappy attitude, I will not give them the time of day. And not in a mean way, but just like, if you can't control your attitude, how am I going to get you on the wholesaling? Yeah. Because you don't have the experience, so you're going to have to win people over with yourself. And that's what I want you to understand. So I'm giving you more fatherly advice, but understanding it's the same stuff I told Zach. You know what Zach's biggest obstacle was when he was your age? His age. He goes, no one's going to take me seriously. I go, why? Who told you that? And he just goes, and so when someone brought up his age, I just told him, would my age stop me from buying your home if I show you I have the money to buy it and I have the expertise to do it? They're like, no, I guess not. Because the reality is that just a little information you have now is so much more than the average homeowner has. And if you develop it over the next 2 years, you're going to do amazing things. I tell you, you're in a wonderful market. I know people over there. And I would love to partner up doing deals with you. Your number one job is what as a wholesaler? What is it? If you had to sum it up in one sentence.
To help the seller sell their home.
You've got to find people to sell you discounted properties. If you understand that job function, you will destroy it. Everything else is a distraction. Taxes, LLCs, all this other crap. If you understand my job is to connect with people that need to sell their house and cut through all the realtor BS and all the other stuff, that's your fastest way of getting a deal. Do not spend time on MLS, complete waste of your time. You can do FSBOs, but you have to do it in a numbers game. Like you got to talk to a lot of people.
Yeah, I was actually called for a week straight, just 5 hours a day. I got a couple of leads, but I didn't really know how to close. Like I had this one that I talked to Zach about. He had it listed for 170. Like I'm down to 130. But the thing is, he was listed with a broker, so I just dropped it because it was.
It's a pain in the butt. So the other thing is stick to off-market properties because the brokers and agents will eat you alive if you're brand new because we don't talk the talk. And honestly, it's such a slim odds of making it happen. And then even if you get there, they're going to stop you from doing an assignment, a contract, and they're going to try to bust you at every corner. And for that reason, you got to find properties that are on these lists. Just keep pressing on the list and push hard on the FSBOs. And then whenever you get a ride or somebody can help you out, go out and do driving for dollars. People talk about doing like virtual driving for dollars. Honestly, I don't even know how to do it. And we eventually got to do a video and figure out how to do it. I don't know how effective it is, so I don't teach it unless I show proof of concept. But don't let your age. And by the way, not having money in wholesaling is a superpower. I know every guru is going to shun you away, but the reality is you have to want it so bad and go out and get that first deal. And then when you get it, it tastes so much better. It's like being on an island forever. And when you get it, You're like, okay, I got to keep doing this because if I made $5,000, now it took me 3 or 6 months to make that $5,000. Then the next time you do it, you should cut your time in half and just keep moving forward. So remember, dude, it's a marathon. I didn't start till I was 33. I didn't really figure out the business till I was 34, 35. So dude, kudos to you. You're way ahead of the game. And I wish more people would take the action that you do, because I think at this point you've understand that the schooling system, and I listen, I'm not picking on your parents. My parents were like, my parents didn't teach me anything about like,
Yeah.
they kept me alive, and like I grew up in a different era than you, but now you have all the information at your fingertips. You just got to sort through all the people. Now you're going to have a lot of competition, but here's the bit. Most people, they just try wholesaling. You're at 18, dude. Like you haven't committed to a mortgage, a job. Hopefully you don't have kids yet. If you do, it is what it is. But like most people get stuck in a job and they're just stuck there. If you don't believe me, go reverse engineer your parents and what they do for a living. It's just the truth. My dad told me his job story. He's still alive. I'm like, okay. And I got stuck in a job for 12 years and I took a massive amount of risk. So you have everything under you that you need. You just have to consistently just keep pushing through it, because unless you want to be like all the other sheep out there, take the bold action now. Because I'm telling you, if you can commit 2 years, you'll completely change your life. And although it doesn't feel like you're making money right now, the amount of money you can make, you can do one deal and make more money than most of your friends make in 1 year.
Yeah.
So Zach's like, so I love my son to death, but like most Zach's friends can't relate to what he does. So when Zach's with his friends, he's just Zach. Like he's just a kid, and that's what you got to be, because you got to keep your sanity. But like Zach would never go in and talk like finances, because it's like, honestly, you like the mental part. So for you to even do this, like you're mentally already there. So you're just gonna have to bust through these lists. You have some limitations, but I'm telling you, if I could teach people how to make money with no money, oh my, like imagine when you have some money to like do some things. And most people started in wholesaling, they all try to, they go, well, I'm going to spend 5,000 on this list. I'm going to get a guru. I'm going to do this. The most successful people I know are the ones that did it with no money. That's how I did it, man. I had like $150 to my name to get this. I owed so much money, it was disgusting. And I just said, dude, I got to dig out of this hole. And I did wholesaling while I had a full-time job, and I had 2 tiny little children and a massive mortgage. And honestly, I wanted to quit so many times. And the only difference is I kept going. So what other questions? Like, you're just going to have to, like, you have to go through everything. You just got to run through it, and you just got to keep going. It doesn't mean you run people over. It just means I'm not going to let this obstacle stop me, and I'm just going to keep going. And the first 2 years are going to be very tumultuous. It's just the truth. I still think you're in an affordable market. I wish you had transportation, and I wish you had some other things to help you out. But honestly, just figure a way to do it. I've made it as easy as I can. So I gave you the education for free, so run with it. So what other questions you have for me? Anything I can help you out specifically?
Yeah, okay. I was going to ask. Also, he told me to try to get the probates and try to get the code enforcement list. And so I called the code enforcement office or whatever, and they basically told me to send them an email of the request. I asked them for all open code violations of tall grass in the past 30 days, and they haven't got back with me, and it's been like 2 days. So
did you say the last 3 days?
No, the last 30 days.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Make sure you got a 0 on that. So
yeah.
And so listen, we're in a society where people don't want to take accountability. Not many people want to do their jobs. I don't know about like you guys, like I almost feel like I'm in the twilight zone in this one, and you're young. So unfortunately, this is what it's terrible out there. People don't communicate. They don't follow up. So it's not uncommon. Just so you guys know, I have 3 closings coming up tomorrow, and it's not my teams that's the problem. It's the sellers. It's their title companies, their attorneys, all the realtors, everybody involved. We literally, my team shows me with like, Rick, we make 6 to 8 phone calls every day to try to get them to follow through. So you're not going to have any difference. I have landscapers I hire, they never show up. I had someone do a roof. The guy won't come back and finish the roof. I have boat mechanics that works on my boat. They disappear for months on end. It's crazy out there in society. So you guys have to, like when they do this to you, Hunter, you just go, hey, listen, I called you yesterday. I know you're busy. I respect your time. How can I make this easier for you? Is like, what do you want me to do? Like, you got to try to help them help themselves. So do you get frustrated when people don't follow up when they tell you what they're going to do?
Yeah.
It should piss you off. So you have to stay on them, but you can't light them up. You just have to keep holding them accountable until they give you what you want to do. And it's frustrating. And I grew up in a day where people like did half the time they do what they say. And if I look forward 20 years, if 10 to 15% of the people do exactly what they say, that's about the norm now. So you guys know going into it, I am used to making 4 follow-up phone calls on everything I do. So I'm trying to get roof bids on a big commercial project. I mean, I have to do 6 to 8 emails with every vendor to get them to cooperate. and then I got to get my property manager to organize the information, do everything. It's ridiculous. So you're going to have that same problem, and you have to understand it. Do not accept their BS answers. Just keep tightening the noose every time you talk to them. Hey, listen, I know you're busy. I've waited. I've talked to you twice. Is there something I can do to help you to move this along? Because Friday's coming along and I know you want to enjoy your day. And here's my thing. I sat in a property manager's office yesterday. Ready for this? They had a packet to approve. It's a long story, but it's a commercial. And they go, well, we need 10 days to process it. And I need it done by Friday because I can't close on the property. And she's, you know what they do? They wait till the 10th day, then they do it. And that's what we're dealing with in society. If you put a closing date at the end of the month, title companies assume you're closing at the end of the month. I'm always closing much earlier. The reality is, why not just get it off your desk and get it done? And I'll get out of your hair. And that's what I kind of tell them nicely. So you got to keep doing it, but you got to BS with them. It's a little bit hard over the phone because you can't see them. So you can't see like their kids' pictures and like what they do, a picture of their dog and stuff like that. Just find a way to connect with them. But like, you understand you're going to have to call these people 4, 6, or 8 times, right? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So just keep calling. And you have to overcome resistance with persistence. Dude, I'm excited you're doing it at your age. I'm telling you, like, most people, here's the reality. They take a job because they got stuck there and they didn't have a choice. And then here's what all your friends will tell you. Well, it's safe. That's what my parents said. Just take that job. It's so safe. There's nothing safe about a job, guys. If you want to do a job, I have no problem with it. But don't complain about not having financial freedom and the ability to earn as much money as you want. It is a lot of work. It's a responsibility. So stick to your journey, because 95% of the crowd around you is going to try to choke you off. And you know that going into this, right?
Yeah.
The tough one are the parents. But keep in mind, we don't pick our families. They pick us. And you just have to love them through there. It doesn't mean they're bad people. They just want to protect you and keep you going. But honestly, if Zach took a job, he'd probably still be living with me in today's world. And that's the reality of the world. Because a job is hard to get on your own and own your own piece of real estate and whatever you want to do. But dude, just keep doing what you're doing. I'm telling you, like, jump on these lives. And honestly, I'd rather you spend more time with my son, because I think he'll inspire you a little bit, because he did everything everyone told him he could never, ever do. They said, you're wasting your time. And by the way, he went to college and did everything. He blasted through it, paid for it on his own through scholarships, and he still chose wholesaling. And by the way, he could have easily gotten a 6-figure job out of college. He's like, it's a death trap. I don't want to do that. You know why? Because he saw me for 20 years spend every day with him and go to his sporting events, go to wrestling matches. We go fishing together. We just spend a ton of time. Why? Because my dad didn't offer me that. And so, like, the generations changed. And by the time you have kids, if you decide to do it, you're going to show them, like, listen, working a corporate job is, in my opinion, tough. So is it safe? What's your definition of safe? If it's showing up to a cubicle every day and having someone tell you what to do, knock yourself out. You will never save your way to financial freedom. So I know I've gone on a little bit long with you. I'm really excited for what you're doing. My biggest thing too is stick it out. And everyone who doubts you, understanding they're just trying to bring you down to their level, and you don't want to get in there.
Okay.
I love people when you guys do this, because my parents didn't give me this direction, and I jumped off a ledge for 12 years and I gave up 12 years of my life. And I should have been starting this crap when I was like 12. But so you have to go forward. And remember, when someone comes at you and go, listen, this is my journey. I want to move forward with it. I respect you and I love you, but I want something different. And the reality is, to get ahead in this life, you have to make sacrifices. You can't just go get a paycheck every other week and expect to be financially free. It's not going to happen. So you're making the sacrifice right now. What I want you to do is make the sacrifice and make money. And you're just going to have to bust through those barriers. So go through freewholesaling.com head to toe. Spend time with Zach. His Sunday lives are awesome. I'll be on with him tomorrow. He'll be back on Friday. So you have all the opportunity in the world. And you know what? The only reason Zach's in the position is he made the sacrifice when he was young. Now he started a couple years before you, but like 18, dude. 33. I tried what my parents told me to do, and it failed miserably. And my mission to talking to you guys is, number one, I think wholesaling is the best venue. And number two, you don't have to follow in your parents' footsteps. Still love them, still respect them. But a lot of kids in your age are debating whether they're going to go to college or not. And I'm just like, well, it's a personal choice. Most kids go to college. You know why? Because their parents tell them you have to.
Yeah, that's
so,
what I'm me to do, but not going.
But like, listen, here's the worst case scenario. If you want to go to college and make your parents happy, just go get a degree online. You know why? Because nobody cares if you went to the university or you got it online. It's the same freaking thing. Make sure you calculate a return on investment. If it's going to cost you $100,000 to get a degree you're going to do nothing with, don't do it. Unless you're going to be an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, basically the trade schools of colleges. Why on earth would you go to college? Teach you marketing? It's so outdated, you're literally wasting your time. And with Chat GPT, I think colleges have just been basically eliminated, in my opinion, but it is what it is. So enjoy your journey, man. I want to see you on it here again because I don't forget the hunter name. Any other questions while I'm on here?
Yeah, my last one would be, so if I'm not gonna be able to get the probate and I'm still waiting for the code violations, should I start trying to get the other ones like water shutoffs and stuff like that?
All of them, dude. Like, so you got to get there's 8 or 9 lists. If you can just get 2 or 3 of them, it gives you a head start. And then what happens is while you're getting the list, the ones that turn you down, you start to figure out ways to reapproach it to try to get past the what I call the gatekeeper. Because a lot of the issues are privacy policies. You're at a disadvantage doing it on the phone. I'm just gonna be brutally upfront. So you're going to have to try to get more lists to offset it. Don't forget the pre-foreclosure list because that's the most public, in my opinion, easiest list. And don't forget the eviction list.
Okay, now for the pre-foreclosures, do you go to the clerk of court to try to get that?
All mine are online. It's simple. It's the easiest list to get them all.
Okay, now where would I go to get that? My parish's courthouse?
Yeah, so they're going to have a foreclosure department and they should get that list. And once the bank starts filing, the idea is to catch them first. If you can catch them first, great. Don't wait till they get to the end of the auction because you particularly don't have a lot of options to get that deal done. So if you can catch someone before every other investor does, and remember, your youth should be your asset, not your liability, because the God honest truth is I would swap places with you and I would do anything to go back to be 18 and broke because you have longevity over me. And honestly, that's worth more money. Like time is more valuable than money. You hear that all the time, right? It's true. The amount of knowledge you can get over the next 2 years will catapult you for the next 50 years. And that's what Zach did when he was young. And I wish somebody grabbed me and did it. So when I see young kids, I want to gravitate to them and I just want to grab them and go, listen, I'm telling you, man, take the hard path now. And you can, listen, Zach really never has to work another day in his life. He's a young dude. Like I didn't have that option. And if you do it early, you can figure stuff out. But like, listen, guys, and then if you have financial obligations as kids, it's still a good time to get in wholesaling because that will get you out of it. So I had to dig out a much deeper hole than you. But like your youth, please don't let anybody ever discourage you because most people, like us old guys, would trade places with you in a heartbeat. And so I treat my body now like I'm an 18-year-old. I watch everything that goes into it. I exercise every day. And I fight the aging process. It just is what it is. So while you're young, God, my God, I'd do anything to go back. You got so much in front of you. Like take full advantage of it. I don't think you really appreciate how much of an opportunity you have because most kids don't even wake up till they're in their 25s or 30s. And then you got all sorts of issues going on in your life. So, and develop yourself, man. Like just try to develop your mindset and everything else. YouTube, you got everything at your fingertips and understand that sometimes when you get stuff free, it's some of the best information you can get, but filter who gives you the information and do not run your life by social media. You know that by now, right?
Yeah.
So dude, I'm excited for you, man. Just keep going and get the list. Come back on and I'll help you out as much as I humanly possibly can. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
I believe in you, Hunter, man. Go get it, man. Like, guys, do you understand if you're 18 and you're like doing this stuff? I get like super excited, dude. And you literally look like another hunter I know in the, he's in Florida, but I'm not going to say you're not him though. I can tell with your accent and stuff like that. And by the way, you're in a wonderful market too. I had a partner that was in it and we did very well and it wasn't quite to it. It was very close to you. So I can share some more information. So keep calling back. And I promise every time I call back, I'll help you out as much as I can. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. You got it, man. Okay.